very good evening and welcome. This is Weekend Primetime News here on MTV and Shakti TV. I'm Ramesh Bandar. As always, let's start off with a look at your headlines tonight.
9 special committees with powers to steer the development process.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ 50 සභාවේ පළාත් පාලන ආයතනවලත් මැතිවතුන් එකතු කරලා තමයි මේ ප්‍රාදේශීය සංවර්ධන කමිටු හදන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ.
Decisive discussion on the national government scheduled to take place today and tomorrow.
Radical වෙනසක් කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන 50 ගණනාව පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ සම්මත කරා.
අපි තවත් අවුරුදු 1.5 2ක් ඇතුළත මේ ආණ්ඩුව පෙරලලා අයින් කරනවා කියන එක.
A number of mishaps at the National Sports Festival.
President Maithripala Sirisena engaged in a tour of Kenya and Sampur today in order to provide land deeds to those of the eastern province.
President Maithripala Sirisena arrived in Kenya. Issues faced by the people of the area were brought to the attention of the president.
I didn't come here today upon an invitation extended to me. I decided that I must meet you all. What happened on the 8th of January was truly a revolution. You all did not ask for food and clothing that day. All you asked was to live happily and in harmony. I believe that after you all elected me to power, that you were able to lead happy lives. There will be a much better development plan than before. I am hoping to give special attention to the district and provincial levels and to create a regional development committee and grant powers to them too. My hope is to bring together the ministers and MPs for this regional development committee. We will initiate this plan on all 9 provinces of this country.
President Maithripala Sirisena visited Sampur in Trincomalee this evening. The president first visited the Kaliamman Kovil and followed religious observances. TNA's R. Sambanthan was among those present. Subsequently, the president visited those who have been temporarily housed in Sampur and inquired on their grievances. At the event, land deeds were presented to 25 families to mark the occasion. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumar Tunga, SLM's leader Rauf Hakim and many others were present at the event.
On to our developing story tonight. 2 final rounds of discussions will take place over the operations of the national government formed by the United National Party and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
Representatives of both parties held a round of discussions at the President's official residence last night on measures that should be taken on the formation of the national government.
The second round of discussions took place and it was fruitful. The agreement was to take the country forward. We hope to reach a positive understanding and a good decision. We have given them the opportunity to decide.
The General Secretaries of both parties also said that they are ready to face any situation surrounding the national government.
At a time when we have the majority to form the government, we have agreed to work with the other parties. Therefore, the opposition and the other parties in the opposition must think of the country first. They need to make that commitment. If they agree to that, this effort will be beyond successful. This will become a reality. All the parties that work for the people will come together and take the country forward.
In other political news, Parliamentarian-elect Karunaratne Paranavithana commented on the significance of a national government.
We hope to pass a number of acts that will create a radical change in the country's economy, society and law by the end of the year. The cabinet will see around 40 members. There may be other deputy ministers and state ministers. This will take place within the parliamentary framework and in accordance to the law of the country.
Salin Dissanayake visited the UPFA supporting hospital following an attack in Kurunagal and looked into his well-being, where he also made a remark on the national government.
They carry out such acts and invite us to join the national government. Therefore, we will not enter a good governance with such a government. We will perform the duties of the opposition. What I can say is that we will be toppling this government in another 2.5 years and remove such governance.
During a media briefing held today, journalists raised questions regarding a move to grant a national list seat to a UNP candidate who was defeated in the polls. The candidate in question was MHM Nawawi of the All Ceylon Makkal Congress.
The name of our party is not the United National Party. It is called the All Ceylon Makkal Congress. We were given the opportunity for the national list and we reached a decision with the Supreme Council to include M. Nawawi. The party of Ranil Wickremesinghe has never taken such a decision. Persons who lost from their party have not been included. However, our party was allowed to make a decision.
Attention was drawn, citing that there were confusion surrounding the results of Ampara.
Our party contested and obtained 34,000 votes. It is not easy for a new party to contest and obtain such an amount of votes. We were hoping for one seat. We believe that there was injustice caused in Ampara. Therefore, we are discussing with our attorneys a way to seek the assistance of the courts.
It was announced that the General Secretary of the All Ceylon Makkal Congress, YLM Hamid, had been temporarily removed from his post as General Secretary of the party.
Now, a number of heads of provincial councils who contested the 2015 general elections were elected to Parliament. As a result, several issues have arisen within the provincial councils.
Among those who contested the general election while representing the provincial councils, 46 were elected to Parliament. Chief Minister of the Western Province, Prasanna Ranatunga, and 13 others are among them.
My task would be to enter Parliament and perform the duties of the opposition. Therefore, I will let go of all other positions and take my seat in the opposition. I believe that the party will take the suitable decision. After Susil Premajayanta, no one from the Colombo district has become the Chief Minister for a period of 15 years. Therefore, I am the most suitable person for the post of Chief Minister from the Colombo district. I believe that I will be given that position.
Chief Minister of the North-Western Province representing the Kurunegala district and 5 others were elected to Parliament. This closely contested electorate caught the attention of many during the general election.
I will step down from the Provincial Council and enter Parliament as it is not a new place for me. From the very beginning, I have said that I am with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. There were protests citing that I would join the UNP. I will not join them to accept any ministerial portfolio.
Chief Minister of the Ua Province, Harin Fernanda, and 2 other councillors were elected to Parliament.
I need to say that it was the Ua Provincial Council election that was instrumental in creating this historical victory. After the 8th of January, in which President Maithripala Sirisena was victorious, the Ua Provincial Council operated on a consensus starting the 13th of January. That is the concept of a national government. It will continue even after my term. A former Ua Provincial Councillor was elected to Parliament. When he was elected, a former senior minister in Parliament suffered defeat. After suffering defeat, he is attempting to pull back the MP-elect by saying that he will be made the Chief Minister and various other promises. He wants to enter the vacant position in Parliament when the MP-elect decides to become the Chief Minister.
In addition to the position of Chief Minister, the positions of Opposition Leader at 2 provincial councillors are vacant. Opposition Leader of the Sabragama Provincial Council, Tusta Vijayman, and 7 others were elected to Parliament. The post of Opposition Leader is one that needs to be held by a person with political maturity and intelligence. The General Secretary of the party is from the Kegaon district. We have several seniors from the Ratnapura district as well, so matters will take place accordingly. The opposition leader of the Eastern Provincial Council and 4 others were elected to Parliament as well.
The opposition leader will be decided on the majority consent of the opposition MPs. It will not be determined on one party or party secretary nor the party leader. the opposition MPs will decide on the opposition leader. So when I leave, that will be decided by the remaining 14 members in the opposition.
Moving away from politics, 3 injuries were reported in an altercation that took place among 2 groups in Kathankudi.
Altercations took place in the Palamune and Karatikarai areas in Kathankudi last night. 3 individuals who suffered injuries as a result were admitted to the Batiklo-based hospital.
A group of supporters of Hizbullah assaulted my brother Ilwan. I intervened in the brawl to save him. That is why I was assaulted. We managed to capture the person who assaulted us and tie him up.
I was slapped. I fell to the ground, then I was taken to the police. The police had instructed to admit me to hospital.
We were attacked. Bottles and stones were hurled at us. My 3-wheeler was parked outside. I went there and that is when I was attacked. There were around 10 to 15 assailants.
Eyewitnesses said that the assailants had also assaulted a pregnant woman. A protest against the attack took place from Kathankudi this afternoon. The National Movement for Good Governance gathered opposite the Presidential Secretariat today and raised their protest over the incident.
The presidential elections and the parliamentary election, we work to defeat those who are corrupt and those politicians involved in corrupt activities. As the President had requested from the people to defeat all those who are corrupt with Mahinda, the National Movement for Good Governance in the Batiklo district carried out that task. Hizbullah was defeated at the elections. However, he was included in the national list for parliament. We request that he be removed from the national list. Once he obtained the position in the national list, members of the National Movement for Good Governance were attacked. 6 or 7 of them have been hospitalized. Therefore, respect the law and apprehend those involved.
Police said that 4 persons have been arrested over their involvement in the altercation. Newsfirst contacted the UPFA national list nominee MLM Hezbollah in this regard.
The people of Kathankudi had stepped out to the streets and celebrated by lighting crackers. It was at that time the supporters of the SLMC and the PMGG had assaulted them with bottles and stones. Both sides attacked and injuries were reported from both sides. I condemn this incident.
Now, a number of ministers and parliamentarians who were in office during the previous government failed to get elected during the general elections that was concluded recently. A media briefing was convened by former Minister Pandu Bandaranaike to explain the reasons for this defeat.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa had instructed us to support the 100 Days program. Therefore, we strengthened the chairman of the party, President Maithripala Sirisena. However, in order to work against us, a group headed by the Chief Minister had created a document and spread it everywhere. This caused injustice to us. We as persons who were subject to unjust acts say that such operations were carried out by a group of politicians to dismantle the process. We urge President Maithripala Sirisena to be careful from such persons.
Welcome back to the news. President's Coordinating Secretary Rajika Kurituaku was appointed as a member of the Sri Javardhanpura Kotte Municipal Council by President Maithripala Sirisena today.
Rajika Kurituaku was sworn in by President Sirisena at the President's official residence. Rajika Kurituaku was appointed to the position left vacant by Councillor Ranjit Ponnam Peruma. An attorney by profession, Rajika Kurituaku entered active politics in 1999.
On to business news tonight. The price of rice has further decreased in the local market in comparison to last month.
The reduction of rice prices took place with increased yield in the Maha harvesting season. Large stocks of rice are entering the market as a result of the increased yield in the Yala harvesting season as well. The division head of sales, food products, policies and agrarian projects of the Hector Kobbai Kadua Agrarian Research and Training Institute, Dumila Priyadarshana, stated that the rice prices could further reduce. A price of kilogram of Nadu rice in the market is between 55 and 60 rupees, while its maximum retail price is between 70 and 75 rupees. The price of a kilo of samba and red kakulu has further reduced compared to last month. Priyadarshan added that its supply of rice to the market could be done without any disruption as there are adequate stocks reaching the market and because the government also has buffer stocks. He further added that reduction of rice prices could continue into the next month.
A few unexpected incidents and errors were reported at the national games today.
4 cyclists participating in the women's 65-kilometer cycling race suffered injuries when a cameraman unexpectedly obstructed the path of the cyclists. However, the gold medal was won by P.A. Priyadarshini of the Northwestern province. In addition, the silver and the bronze medals too were won by Northwestern Province competitors P. Niroshani and A.M. Dineshadil Rukshi. The champion of the last year's marathon race at the National Games, Pradeep Dhammika, collapsed while running due to a muscle sprain. He was unable to complete his event thereafter. However, spectators were surprised over the time it took for the marathon runner to receive medical treatment.
All the medical facilities that were provided for the games were from the Nagara hospital. The reason for this is because usually we receive medical assistance for these types of events from either the Department of Sports Development or the medical unit of the Sports Ministry. However, we were unable to get their assistance this time according to what we think is because doctors of those departments not being in the country. But the Nagara hospital attended to all the medical emergencies.
Before we go, here's a look at our headlines once again. 9 special committees with powers to steer the development process. Decisive discussions on the national government scheduled for today and tomorrow. And in sports, a number of mishaps at the National Sports Festival. You can follow up on all these stories at www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara. Good night.